You ready?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. I won't clap then.
Wait. No.
I'm ready. We're all waiting for you, TJ.
Okay.
I will carve it in and I'll make you feel like you're on a cloud and you can't sit still when we on the floor and I'm on them fours and you use the force, there's no problem. I will carve it in.
Welcome to the third episode of Us Talking. I'm your host, Finnegan Tuig,
I'm your co-host, Tristan Parrish.
and today we have no special guest because Gavin is sick.
Tis sad day.
Yeah. So last episode, I endorsed the show The Magnus Archives, and one of the episodes, someone finds a book that every time you open the book, it tells you when and how you're gonna die.
This is a spooky book.
Yeah.
This is like Death Note.
Yeah, it's like Death Note. But every time you open it, the death becomes more gruesome and sooner.
Oh.
So what do you think you would do if you found this book?
Nobody's gonna like it, but like I'd probably just keep reopening it.
Oh, yeah,
happens.
that's what we would all do. But like, what would you do when it's like?
I think if I knew it and it was just realistic, I probably wouldn't ever open it, and maybe opening it once, the possibility of that happening, and then never opening again.
Okay. But the thing is, if the first one's like you'll die in 15 years by a car accident, and you can't, part of the story is you can't get rid of the book. Like, it just follows you. So like, it would just be like eating at you to see what the next death could be. Or if it's, like for 15 years. It'd be kind of relieving a little bit. Like, if you open it, it's like you have 15 years to the day. And it's not like an illness that will kill you in 15 years. Like, that last year will probably be pretty awful, whereas this is just like you die. so you can
Red letters, like, look, what was that game again?
There's a few. Zelda does it.
It just says you died with like an ominous noise in the background.
I think it might be Zelda that shows up. It has that death screen that like floats in.
Oh
Yeah.
Maybe, I think it is Zelda.
Okay.
I don't know, there's a lot of games that do it.
Yeah, that's a very common thing. But like 4 years and 340 days, you could just bet all your money on something. And then maybe you win, or maybe you are broke for the next 10 days or something.
Yeah,
like,
then,
you could just, I don't know.
Broke for the next 10 days and just living out in the streets just for the fun of it.
Yeah. And then they're like, you're a trillionaire, and you're like sick, and then you die in a car accident the next day.
That's like almost a gamble in itself. It's like, if you take the gamble, win the gamble, do you gamble on attempting to win the gamble like the day of or the day before?
Oh,
or
I
like
see.
a year before? Because if you lose, your life's going to be screwed up for like the next however long it is until you die.
I don't know, like, what's the best thing you could do if you know you only have 24 hours left to live?
To like bet your money on?
I don't know, like, just, I think in general, the obvious option is just donate your money somewhere. But I feel like you could probably just do something even bigger than that.
Personally, I think I just wander off into the woods.
Oh, okay, that's
If I had 24 hours left,
Yeah?
because I would never come back. Like, I just wander wherever I need to. So
I would start a mystery for sure. Like, you
left
take
and
all
never came back.
Yeah, like, you could put all your money into gold, put it in a backpack, and then just trek and just
trek
like
on
try
in
and
the
like
woods.
Yeah.
For like a day, and then just
just
end up in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, you could just like crawl into like some weird hole and just die.
It's like 3, 2, 1.
And scene.
And scene.
Yeah. Me and my friends tried to figure out what the most environmental thing you could do was, and we decided it was take off all your clothes, go into the woods, and then find a rotten tree and get that to kill you.
Oh my god.
Because then you are making no carbon footprint and your body can decompose without...
You're just like this naked old ass man wandering into the woods to end up standing and then purposefully chopping down an old like rotting tree.
Yeah, because you can't cut down a new tree because that'll have an environmental impact.
Minuscule, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And you can't just like go on living because you're breathing out carbon, you know. That's bad.
That's bad. Humans are inherently terrible because we breathe. You also might be a really good place for just food in general.
That's true. Maybe you should just go jump into like a bear.
A bear. Just like, catch me.
Maybe feeding yourself to a bear is the best.
Would an old, like, decrepit man be able to satisfyingly feed a bear?
I don't think...
to reduce his own carbon footprint of his breath?
Well, and like consumerism and stuff, obviously. Oh, okay, I have 2 good questions. One is, what do you think is the most unhealthy breakfast you could eat?
Like, as in a meal or just one thing?
I think a meal within moderation. You can't be
Within moderation.
be like, I will drink the whole Coca-Cola factory. Like,
that is my breakfast every morning.
Yeah. I think, actually, here, you know what? It's like whatever you can eat within like an hour.
Most unhealthy. Anything with just like a shitload of carbs.
Okay.
But like with very little nutritional value. I mean, you could think of like bread.
Oh, yeah. Just
Like if I just ate bread for an hour.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Maybe some like just milk, like an
Just
hour's worth
milk.
of milk. But the other thing is you have to keep it down, because if you just throw it back up, then it's done nothing for you, either good or bad.
I mean, you still digest some of it before you throw it
that's
up.
true.
But I mean, yeah, I see your point. There's not really that much value to eating it because it all just comes back up.
The thing that I landed on as the most unhealthy breakfast was either a high-level mob boss,
What?
or a police officer.
You didn't tell me we're eating people.
Like, because it would be the most unhealthy for you. You have to kill them, which means you're going to jail, which I don't think is that healthy for you.
You know, like the videos Get Ready With Me?
My morning routine.
The next shot is them in a jail cell.
Yeah.
Or them in court and it's like, get ready with me.
But the other one is like a mob boss or like a gangster or something. Because if you kill one of them, then like the gang will retaliate and kill you.
It's a very interesting perspective on like unhealthy here.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like just food.
Like, yeah, well, this is food.
I don't think this is food, Finnegan.
So that's what I think the most unhealthy breakfast is.
People. But
Yeah.
specifically people of power.
Yeah. The president.
The president.
That might be the most unhealthy person to eat.
Joe Biden would not be very nutritional.
No.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Not
Maybe one of
Biden. Biden. I don't know why.
I thought you were making a joke.
I thought I was too.
America.
Merc.
Joe Biden out here.
Joe Biden out here just vibing.
Joe Biden vibing. But what if you put Joe Biden vibing on like, I don't know, like a radio or something?
Joe Biden just vibing.
Yeah, because it could be like a little picture of him dancing.
There's
to
probably enough
music.
pictures out there of him just dancing.
Just vibing.
Just get a picture of him like giving that like death stare into the camera that they give for speech
talks.
talks over the news, and they just kind of give like this very serious stoic look toward the camera, and just take that photo and then just crop him out and put Joe Biden just vibing.
Oh, because you could put that somewhere because it's like an intense stare.
Yeah.
So if you put like in a stall or something, so it's Joe Biden just vibing because he's
Biden
watching
just
you like
vibing.
pee or something.
Oh
It's
my
pretty
gosh, he's
good.
got such a sweet face. It'd be hard to like. I mean, maybe that's such a sweet face. Yeah. He's this old man, and he just looks like he's like a cute old man.
Yeah, he doesn't have like an angry looking face. I feel like some people
like,
do.
He has a serious face, but he's just kind of like a very typical old man with a very like soft look.
Yeah.
Soft look to his
Yeah,
face.
I get what
And
you
so
mean.
like it'd be even worse. Just somebody giving you that like soft look in the stall. We are menaces to society.
I'll just move on to one of the articles I have prepared.
Our first topic of the
Our
day.
first topic of the day. I found this article about this guy. He accidentally pressed the gas instead of the brake in his Tesla and drove into a lake.
What?
That's also what he told like police. So like something could be a little fishy about
He
it.
allegedly
But-
missed the break.
Yeah. But it was in Norway, so the lake was freezing cold. And so there's this video of him and his kid sitting on top of the Tesla as it's slowly sinking under the water.
Oh.
And they get saved by a floating sauna that just sails its way over to pick them up.
Is it driven by anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just figured it was just a floating random sauna that just showed up.
I'll show you a picture. It's this square with
It's like a
little
cube that's just floating on the surface of the
it's just
water.
like this little cube that goes like 2 miles an hour to just like sail around.
Imagine that, like watching the car just take a dive into the water, and then you're like, "Let's go save them," and you start putting along.
That is exactly what happened.
It's perfect.
As quoted from the sauna's captain. One of the
sauna.
guests came running and told me a car had landed in the water. I accelerated to full speed in the direction of the people.
Accelerated to full speed. This guy's words. What a poet.
It is actually kind of fun. Like, you can see all the people just hanging out by the sauna, like, slowly putting their way over.
I'll save you.
Don't drown.
As they're actively drowning.
By the time they get there, the Tesla is like...
It's like the corner of it.
Yeah,
poking out of
just the
water.
trunk is poking out of the water. I don't know why it floated so far out into the lake.
The car?
Yeah.
Currents? Maybe it was a really
Maybe.
big river.
Oh, it could have been a weird river, yeah. Oh, the other thing I wanted to bring up, whenever I look for these news articles, half of them are just animals being in places they're not supposed to be.
You mean like where they originally were and then we just built around it?
No, it's like Alaskan native bear found wandering loose in Florida. Zoo monkey captured after 5 days loose in Scotland. Escaped zoo monkey spotted in Scotland.
Huh.
Animals in weird places.
It just kind of shows how terribly managed the shipping of animals, or even the captivity of animals
Yeah.
in zoos is.
Apparently.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Like, one of them I thought was especially fun was there was just an emu wandering around Washington. The Humane Society in Washington kept getting phone calls about an emu running along Highway 16. And they came and picked it up, and after 72 hours, no one claimed it. So they just took it.
To the zoo?
Yeah. It's just living there now.
Huh.
But how do you lose track of an emu?
How do you
to the
purchase
point...
an emu in the first place?
That's a great question. But like, how does one lose track of an emu so bad?
Like it ends up
running on the highway.
Yeah.
And that they were searching for it to give it back, and they couldn't find the person who owns the emu.
Either nobody spoke up that they owned it, or didn't
Emu
want it in the
trafficking.
first place. Emu trafficking. It's black market emu trafficking. We don't talk about it. You can make good money on that market. I'm
I
kidding.
bet. You'd either make a ton of money or no money. They also they kept it in a barn for a while, for the 72 hours.
Not
I
in
don't
the
know.
zoo or anything, just in a barn.
I don't know where else they'd hold an emu, like, normally. I don't know where I'd put an emu.
Normally, I put my emu in my house. Mine stays also in the basement as well. I've got 2 of them.
Have you seen the videos where someone's, like, posts a video and they're like, guess what plane seat I'm in? And then someone just posts the exact flight they're on.
Exactly.
It's terrifying.
I find it so funny. Because, like, it's not crazy hard to find flights. It's also not crazy hard to identify aircraft from the interior.
Oh, that makes sense. I never thought about that, actually.
And I guess there is some difficulty to it.
It's funny, but it's also kind of scary in this, like,
Agreed.
by the same
It is scary.
thing. I don't know that much about, I don't know, like, code and just, like, the inner workings of the internet, but you can pull metadata from photos and, like, sometimes just get exact location of where they were taken and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, there's just online things that
Are there
will do it.
are there things like mirrorless cameras that take location of photos, or
Yeah,
really?
for sure. Like your phone does.
Yeah, your
for
phone
sure.
does. Yeah, your phone takes location, time, and every setting you had of that photo, I think,
Yeah.
as well. Like, it's really creepy.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's kind of cool because it's like, oh yeah, I took it in like this place.
But then it's scary once you upload that to the internet and someone can be like, oh, that's your GPS coordinates.
Yeah, it's like, this is
Yeah.
where you were at specifically at this time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you also give away a majority of your information in today's world.
Yeah.
It's weird because most people don't understand that.
That's what scares me too, is like Facebook, Instagram, because they're all owned by Meta. Meta's just a data broker. So they get money from ads and stuff, which makes sense. But then they get like a lot of their money just from selling things about you to other companies. It's kind of terrifying though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, just a teensy bit.
Teensy bit.
Break?
Break.
Okay, let's go on break. Are you up to date with the Helluva Boss series?
Wait, the Hazbin Hotel or the Helluva Boss?
Helluva Boss.
Oh, yeah, I'm up to date with the Helluva Boss.
Yeah, I've really liked that series.
It's a really good series.
It's a fantastic series, and it's been a long time since they've posted an episode, so I feel like the next one's going to be the season finale.
I really hope not, because there's so much they could go off of with these characters of Stolas and Blitz, who are in a very strange relationship. If you just take like the general idea of their like love story and relationship and everything they kind of go through, it's like one person's struggling with childhood trauma, another is just like this love-struck being.
Yeah.
Owl.
Although like Stolas is a prince in hell, so he has all this power, and then Blitz grew up in the circus and is just like a low imp.
Like Hellborn, I think is how they describe it.
Yeah, Hellborn imp. And then they came together because Stolas went to watch the circus. And Stolas has had a crush on Blitz since then.
Yeah, and they were like little kids at that point.
Yeah, but there's been this weird power dynamic between the two because Stolas has so much power over Blitz because Blitz also has a company called IMP for immediate murder professionals, where they go back to Earth and murder people and get paid by people who are in hell and want revenge.
Yeah, so like sinners who, like in a description of like, I guess the lore of the show, it's like sinners die, but like if they want revenge on somebody back on Earth, that's the the business proposal of IMP is like, you know, we'll go kill the person who betrayed you back on Earth, or if you still had unfinished business, that's our job, is to go finish that business.
Yeah.
With guns.
with
guns.
A lot of them. And Stolas gives Blitz his book.
He calls it a grimoire.
Yeah, his grimoire.
And it's like
to allow Blitz to go to Earth to do this. So it's been this power imbalance between the two.
Kind of, because he's a low imp who doesn't have any power in the first place.
Yeah.
He's treated kind of like the deadbeat of society.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, and Stolas like wants him to come over every full moon.
Yeah, it's like Stolas wants to be with Blitz, but Blitz has so much trauma, he can't be with people.
Yeah.
In a loving relationship, he's very, I wouldn't say abusive to Stolas, but more like he's just leading him on the entire time.
I don't know if he's leading him on, but he's just closed off the whole time.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. He's very closed off.
But in the latest thing they posted a music video called Look My Way, which is
beautiful.
It's
video.
wonderful.
I love it.
It was written by a fan, and then they turned it into a music video. But in that, it explains how in the last episode, Stolas gets another rupee to give to Blitz to make it so he can travel back and forth without Stolas, which breaks down the power imbalance.
Yeah, it's like, so a rupee is like this gem that is produced in hell, but it's used as a tool to create a portal to go back to Earth between hell and Earth. And I think you kind of got it right with like the power imbalance, but like Stolas gets to see Blitz even with how closed off he is because he keeps coming back, and he gives the grimoire back about every month or so. But if he receives the rupee, he doesn't ever come back. Or I think that's Stolas' like fear is that he's never going to be able to see Blitz again because Blitz isn't like obligated to come back anymore. He's like, in some way, he's kind of afraid to give him the rupee, but he's kind of like wants to give him it because he can't keep giving away the grimoire. Yeah,
well, it's not that he can't keep giving it away. It's that he wants to be in like a loving relationship with Blitz, which just can't happen when like you're indebted in a way to the other person. Yeah, so.
Like it has to be I see what you mean. Like he wants it to be 100% from splits.
Yeah, it like he wants it to be a choice rather than an obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
So that's what makes me think the next episode is going to be the season finale, because we have such a build up to this like event where Blitz will be like, I don't know, like set free in a way. Like he'll have no obligation to be around Stolas anymore except as a bodyguard, which is just like a work thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens because it has been an
too.
amazing series so far. It's been going on for like 4 years.
Oh yeah,
And it
it's
is so
long.
old, and especially alongside because Spindlehorse creates Helluva Boss, and their most recent Amazon partnership, they've created their internet sensation that is like almost 10 years old at this point, but it's called Hazbin Hotel, and it's the 8th and final episode of the first season has recently been released. And it is phenomenal. Oh my god, I love the show.
It's so good. Because it's such an old thing, there's so much lore built in behind it. It's kind of hard to like dive into with someone who hasn't seen it, you know?
Yeah, you kind of have to be a fan of the show because like that's the whole point of the movie. That's the target market of the movie is people who understand what's going on.
Yeah, and first season of Hazbin Hotel has 8 episodes, and the second season, which is the most current one, of Helluva Boss has, I think, 7 episodes now. And so I could kind of see it having the same, like, amount of episodes as the other one. The other thing, it's taken a while for them to post a new episode. Like, the last one came out Halloween?
Yeah, I think it was Halloween. But it's interesting, too, because it's almost like they've taken all their resources to Hazbin Hotel.
I could see
because
that.
nothing's happened on... It's just interesting because, like, they like posting stuff, like, for their plushies and all their
that's
pins.
true,
They they used to do that really often, but, like, nothing's changed within the past month.
Yeah.
So.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more, especially just in this period where they're actually posting the final product, is slowing down. But also, they've been working on Hazbin Hotel for
4 years?
Well,
4 years?
I guess, the actual animation, because it's supposed to come out this summer, and then they pushed it back until...
Oh, it's
like
true.
a month ago.
I think the animation was 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't remember how long. Like, I think in total everything took 4 years, but it's been like I think it's 8 years before that. It was like,
Yeah.
it was a huge internet sensation.
Oh, yeah, because they have a clip of the pilot of Hazbin Hotel in a Helluva Boss episode. And it's in
that's
one of the
true.
first Helluva Boss episodes. So
Yeah.
it's been around, the concept's been around for a long time.
It's been around for forever, and it used to start out as a webcomic for a little while.
I've
and it
seen
was
like
really cool.
a few of those. Yeah.
But I think that's an interesting thing between Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel is they take place in the same story. So like their lore is kind of the same when it revolves around the idea of hell itself. But because Hazbin Hotel takes place in like a certain part of hell, Helluva Boss takes place in like the rest of it, because there's certain like throughout the story, the lore of it is there's like these levels to hell, and it's sinners themselves, people who died and went to hell, like are only allowed to a very small portion of all of hell, and it's these certain rings. I think the ring is like, I think it's the Ring of Pride, or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's multiple rings. There's 7 rings in total. And imps, like hellborn imps and stuff, and people, or I guess characters born in hell, are, according to lore, allowed to roam amongst the 6 realms instead of the Pride Ring, because sinners and like overlords live there in that sense. And like overlords are just really powerful sinners. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because in Helluva Boss, they talk about... Well, they don't talk about it, but, like, people have kind of figured out that, like, the big overlords were sinners who then, like, got power somehow.
yeah.
Like Alistair, who is the radio demon in Hazbin Hotel, is really powerful because he went around and killed all the other overlords.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but, like, a bunch of them and got their power.
It's like in some way they have to like steal souls, or
Yeah.
like they take souls in some fashion, and that's how they gain power. But an interesting thing I heard about that, there's a speculation about the soul thing, was if you sell your soul, something about the character's eyes turn black, whether it's a pupil, whether it's the iris, or whatever. Not the iris, what is it called? The white part of your eye. Anyway, that part, but it's like essentially that part of the character turns black. But it's like these overlords, many of the overlords have red eyes. And it's speculated that if you have red eyes, you've gained souls in some way of other sinners.
I could see that.
But the interesting thing is, as somebody pointed out, is Alistair, every time he's like, I guess, becoming more demonic, you know, like when he grows the horns or whatever, has both red and black eyes. And so there's a theory going around that, or I guess a speculation going around that Alistair himself has sold his soul to
Charlie?
Lilith, Charlie's mom.
Oh.
As like her personal little assassin that just kind of mingles around in hell.
I could see that.
As like this almighty being. Because like funny thing is like people kept saying, is like, how in the world did he just show up and within 7 years just like demolishes all these powerful overlords?
Wasn't Lilith gone for 7 years
too? She disappeared as he shows up. So it's just this really interesting thing. Like a lot of things are lining up and people are like really excited to see what's going to happen in the second season. Because in the 8th episode, like they show Lilith, who's been gone for 7 years. And it was just really interesting. I was like, I got so excited and I'm so ready to see what happens in the second season.
And there's a scene where Husk makes a comment on how Alistair is also owned by someone.
That too, and it shows like...
But like one line in the dialogue, so it's like not this big thing, but if you're paying attention, that's I think what
so cool.
people especially love about these shows is everything is so precisely woven together that like if you pay attention, you can just learn so much about the world that they all are a part of.
Yeah. And it's fun being a part of like these little communities, like Facebook groups or whatever, that start explaining this stuff. So it's people just getting together and putting their ideas about like, I mean, Alistair, for example, he's a huge hot topic right now about where his soul is and how like that power dynamic works. And it's just really interesting.
Yeah, it's really fun. And it's fun that the two series take place in the same like world, I guess, because there is a few
Helluva Boss as well.
Yeah, a little crossover between the two. So
yeah,
all the nerds who are excited about one can get excited about the other.
So
and like,
cool. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I feel like we kind of have to talk about this. But like, what's your favorite character that you have from either series?
Okay, Stolas is definitely my favorite character between both series. I think I don't know, he's just cute and like I just
he's
like
a really
him.
great guy. I think he's amazing.
And I don't know, he is one of the few characters that I think is just doing his best, like in the scenario. Like he seems nice, but in Hazbin Hotel, my favorite's definitely Alistair. His character design,
I agree.
his character
so
design is incredible. His storyline's like super deep, and I love that he's like. I don't know, like, it's just, I love all parts of him.
Yeah. No, I kind of have to agree with Stolas and Alistair. Stolas for Helluva Boss is, like, just an amazing little character. But I kind of like Moxie, mostly because he has these hilarious quotes that are just so iconic. But for Helluva Boss, I agree. I think Alistair is my favorite. Not Alistair. Alistair's good. He's great. But,
Stolas?
Not Stolas.
Blitz, Moxie, Luna, Molly, Millie.
No, sorry, for Hazbin Hotel.
Well,
Lucifer. He is, okay, his character is, I can't begin to describe it. He's such a cute character. Yeah. I love him too much.
I love the part where he was with Charlie and she's like, this is my girlfriend. And he's like, you like girls too?
You like girls? I like girls too.
We have so much in common.
This is Vaggie. She's my girlfriend.
Oh my golly, you like girls? So do I. We have so much in common.
It's like so cute.
And the introduction that builds up to him is like, it shows his room of some sorts and he's like, he's tinkering away with something in this deep voice as he explains whatever is happening. He's like, okay, and it's almost ready. As he puts like this final thing together, you start hearing these clunking noises and his squeaks, whatever. And he's just like, presenting the back-flipping rubber duck.
Now, presenting the magic-tastical back-flipping rubber duck. That spits fire.
God, he's so unexpected the entire time. Anytime he's on screen, like the things he says as a dad and the things he says as like the king of hell, it's so ironic. Everything about him is just hilarious.
The last episode, Lucifer, I guess he doesn't end up killing Adam, but Adam and Lucifer are both voiced by Jeremy Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, and so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so that last scene where you see Adam's face, that's just they just kind of redrew
Jeremy Jordan. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, it actually does look the same.
And so it's kind of funny because he just kills himself as a character. I don't know, that's kind of... I thought that was fun.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Nifty's also awesome.
Nifty's yeah.
You know the part where where she falls off the stage and she's like, pain. I love pain.
Good job. Nifty?
Yay, pain! Pain.
My favorite quote from Nifty is when Husk, he's a bartender in the movie, or I guess in the series, and he's talking about like his soul being sold to Alistair, and he's trapped just doing Alistair's bidding. So Alistair is, commanded him to be a bartender for this hotel, the Hazbin Hotel. And as he's cleaning bottles, talking with another character, Angel Dust, I think, right? And he's like, he what does he say? He says something along the lines of like, do you think I'd be here like forced to clean bottles if he wasn't forcing me or something like that? And Nifty shows up out of nowhere and says, I love being forced. It's like, whoa, hold up, can we back up like 2 seconds?
Yeah, Nifty's just comically unhinged. It's fantastic.
So funny.
Yeah,
she's like, she's the comedic relief because she's so unhinged.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole show is just comedic and relief world. Yeah,
that's true.
There's a scene in Helluva Boss where they're trying to kill this old billionaire. Moxie is like, is it terrible that we want to... And, like, he gets too deep, and then Blitz comes over and sprays him with a bottle of piss.
Oh, and you three are so superior to us just because we want some selfish, greedy, authoritarian capitalist to keel over dead!
You're making things too real now, Moxie.
And so, like, I think the show is aware of the fact that it's not a deep show.
No, it's not designed to be a deep show. It's not designed to be anything like...
It is kind of deep, though.
It is deep because it does have these very emotional moments in the show, but like 90% of the time it is just irony
unhinged.
and unhinged and unhinged. It is just an unhinged show.
Yeah, I think I think more in the beginning it felt kind of like comedic relief for life, because I'd take these big things like death and like hell and stuff, and then it would just goofball the shit out of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think recently with Hazbin Hotel and the last few episodes of Helluva Boss, where it goes back more deep into the backstory of the characters, I think it's getting deeper. It has more of a character progression and more of a storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely become more of like a deeper show, and I really enjoy it because I like that they get more into just becoming a story instead of just being a skit the entire time. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy the show a lot, and it's hilarious. I like it because it is so different than anything else out there currently. I really hope more shows like that come out, but I also hope they're not just like hiding around on like, I don't know, whatever streaming service that is not popularly known.
Yeah, it's also
popularly known.
It's fun that it started off as a YouTube series, because
Yeah.
it's just free to the public, so like the barrier to entry to get into all this lore and to actually watch it is so low that not everyone knows it, because it's a very specific type of person that enjoys it, but a lot of people have been able to watch it. Some of the videos get like 40 million views and stuff like that. It's incredible.
It's insane. They will post a video, and you'll notice like 5 minutes later, like immediately just millions of views.
Yeah.
People are like stalking this account essentially. It is amazing. I love the background. The fan following that they have is so cool.
And then to lean even more into this like lore behind it, a lot of the characters have Instagram accounts, like personal Instagram accounts. Have you seen
they do?
this?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't seen the
It is
characters.
incredible. So so a lot of the characters have their own Instagram account
That
that
is
they
so cool.
do drawings to post as if the character was. And you can find little storylines behind like from those YouTube things. Like
Are they lore to the series
show?
itself?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, like if you follow one of them, Blitz gets kidnapped and then saved by a horse that some people speculate is God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which like it makes as much
I
sense
feel like
as
without
everything else.
the context of this show, if you just say people speculate the horse is God, it's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's just so much to the show that's I don't know, it's just so fun.
Yeah,
And
it's just such a cool show, and there's so much lore about it that like you can really just dive really deep into it.
Yeah.
And the fan base is right there with you.
Yeah.
Endorsements.
Yeah.
Finnegan?
Do I go first?
You should go
Okay,
first.
cool. My endorsement this week is a music genre called bubble grunge.
Bubble grunge?
Yeah, bubble grunge.
Oh no, wait, you've showed me this.
Have I? Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
you
I
have.
did. I don't
It's a
remember
very-
when, but
Yeah.
I did. It's like indie rock, where it's they're trying, but it's just not very well produced, or it's kind of like I don't know. It just has an at-home feel. I specifically endorse the song "Sports" by Beach Bunny. I think that's a really fun song.
Sports by Beach Bunny?
Yeah, it's a song that feels like it encapsulates the whole genre pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just really
What did you
enjoyed
call it again? The genre?
Bubble grunge.
Bubble grunge.
So what would you like to endorse this week?
My personal endorsements for this week. If any of you guys out there are into coffee, I highly recommend going out and getting a mocha pot. A mocha pot is like this $25 little aluminum can, essentially, or I guess a cast iron can that is used to pull espresso shots.
Okay.
Out of like espresso ground coffee, and it's nothing like crazy special, but it's nice because I just throw it on top of my stove, and it'll just boil water, and it shoves water through coffee grounds, and then we'll make espresso.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's nice because it helps reduce the amount of trips you make to Starbucks.
Yeah, and probably cost too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that is this week's episode of Us Talking.
That does conclude. Yes,
Yeah.
concludes this week's episode.
Well, we'll be back next Friday, hopefully with a guest.
Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hold the applause, please. Okay.